Good evening, welcome to LaserDisc and Chill, the series in which I talk to interesting guys and gals, and we talk about their top 5 favorite movies of all time. And today I have Mathieu Dams. Mathieu is a screenwriter, also a showrunner. He works for television. His boss is actually the Belgian Walt Disney, we could say. Mathieu, welcome to the show, of course.
Thank you very much.
How are you?
I'm good, thank you. Thanks for having me.
What are you working on right now, or is that confidential?
I work for the Tafel van Gert, the Flemish talk show with Gert Verhulst, the Belgian Walt Disney.
Yes.
I've been doing it for the last couple of years, and I'm just going to keep on doing it.
It'll keep.
I could tell you which guests we have tomorrow, because I don't know when this is going to be.
I'm going to be airing this very soon, this week, so yeah.
Okay, somewhere this week. So tomorrow, so by the time that this is on YouTube,
let's say yesterday or the day before.
Let's see. I don't even know who we have tomorrow. Anyway, it's not important.
Perhaps you can talk about which interesting guests you've had in the recent past.
Interesting guests. Many interesting guests. Tonight we have a guy who's...
Tonight is, by the way, the 9th of February.
The 9th of February. We have a predecessor of the show, Alex Agnew.
Oh, cool.
And Andries Beckers, they're guests because they have a new series coming out on streams. Welcome to the LA instead of the AA. Yeah. So they're talking about that right now. Okay. And Erik van Looy is there as well, because Erik is also one of the Belgian directors. He's also one of the guests of Welcome to the LA. True. And a regular on our show as well. Okay. And a very interesting guy who does research about pesticides. Okay. Which is something completely different. Why not? But super, super interesting. So if you haven't caught our show of the 9th of February and you're listening to this right now, check it out, because it's gonna blow your mind and also maybe scare you a little bit.
I'm actually amazed that they got Erik van Looy to go to LA, because he once talked about his let's say reluctance to go back, because he had a movie that didn't do too well, and he had sort of a trauma about going back to LA. He never went back after, 2015 when the movie failed. Ago, so like 11 years ago. And he even talks about set reluctance in their podcast, Welcome to the AA. And he said, I'm never going back. So that's why it struck me like, wow, they got him to go back. That's got to be huge. Yeah. So I can't wait to see how they convinced him to to make the plunge. Yeah. Okay, Mathieu, we're here to talk about your top 5 favorite movies of all time. So I'd say without further ado, what's your number 5?
Okay, so do I have to do them in order, because it's very, very
of course,
difficult for me? And also,
right. You told me I'm going to have to cheat. You want a number 6. You want a very honorable mention, right?
For the viewers. This afternoon I texted Julian because I couldn't decide.
You said it was like killing a child.
It's like killing one of your kids. I had 6, and then you very graciously allowed me to make it 6, and I've got a way around it, because you said let's call it a very honorable mention. Yes, and okay, so my very honorable mention, number 6 goes to a trilogy.
Yes.
And when I told you this 5 minutes ago, you said, then I think I know which one you mean.
I think it's the before trilogy.
Exactly.
Richard Linklater.
You know me so well, Julian. You know me so well.
By the way, do you want your quack?
Yes.
This episode is sponsored by Quack. Mathieu, he told me he likes his blonde Belgian beer. So open up your quack. But by all means, perhaps I can introduce the movie. So, of course, Richard Linklater or Latter. I don't even know how to pronounce his last name. Linklater. Linklater. Very famous director. And he made one of the best trilogies of all time. I have to be honest, I only saw the first 2 parts so far.
I consider those 2 the best, maybe because I haven't aged enough to appreciate the third one fully.
Perhaps, although I think we are now approaching the age that Ethan Hawke and Julie Delpy had when they were filming, because they're only like 10 years older than we are, and this third movie is already 12 years old, 13 years old.
I was thinking about it on the way here, actually. I should have looked it up, I didn't.
It's okay.
But I think... like they're in their mid-40s in the last film and before Midnight.
I think, unless I'm very mistaken, I think Ethan Hawke is something like, he was born in like 67 or 68, so probably he was like 45 when they were filming it. Yeah,
and I think also in the characters, I think they must be around 45-ish in the film. Yeah. So for people who haven't yet seen the Before trilogy, it's 3 films.
Rectify.
Before Sunrise, Before Sunset, Before Midnight. And it follows 2 amazing people who who fell in love on a train. I forgot where they came from.
Isn't it Vienna, or are they
going? But they stopped in Vienna. Right. So they meet an American young guy, Jesse, played by Ethan Hawke,
and amazing actor.
Yeah. Amazing actor.
Both. Well, they're both.
They're both amazing actors. Yeah. They're both amazing.
Yeah.
Actors. Yeah. And he meets a lovely French young woman, Celine, played by the wonderful Julie Delpy, and he convinces her to get off with him in Vienna. She's on her way to Paris. He's on his way to Vienna because he has to catch a plane in Vienna back to the States. And, they hit it off on the train. They start talking. And then they arrive in Vienna. And he's like, come with me. And she does, which is an insane thing to do.
Yeah.
This is mid-90s. So maybe people were more chill about stuff like that in the 90s. And they spend an amazing night together. They talk and travel and walk around the city, meet a poet, meet all sorts of interesting people. Have sex in a park. You only find out that they actually had sex.
I thought it was just like cuddling. Is it really
sex? The first one leaves it ambiguous. They hug and kiss and they talk about should we do it or not. And she's like, I don't know, I shouldn't, we should. And he's like very frustrated. And then the next scene is in the morning and you can tell they've disrobed parts at least.
I should watch it.
She's not wearing a bra anymore. This is very obvious. And but it's up to the imagination of the viewer. But then in the second film, I'll get to that in a minute, they talk about it, and Celine actually says, I remember everything.
It's like Meatloaf.
So, and then Jesse's like, yeah, but 10 minutes ago we were talking about this and you didn't even remember we had sex. And then Celine is like, we had sex twice, you idiots, which is saying that they actually did it in the park in Vienna in the middle of the summer.
Yeah.
But why the Before trilogy? It's actually, I asked the question myself. It's actually, I don't know why, because it's only people talking.
Right. Yeah.
3 films in a row is just 2, and sometimes with other people. All they do is talk.
It's like My Dinner with Andre.
It's basically My Dinner with Andre, but then more romantic.
Tell me more, as Martin Prince would say.
Exactly.
Yeah, Mathieu and I, we have a common love for The Simpsons. We once had a Simpsons podcast, so that's why I had to mention Martin Prince.
But I think what struck me, I cheated. I saw the second film first. Because I was 10 years old in 1995 when Before Sunrise came out.
Right, yeah.
So I wasn't interested in movies like that at all. But when the second one came out, it was 2004, I think.
Right.
9
years later.
I got the chance. I was writing for an online music and film magazine. Now it's called Inol.be. Back then it was called Godol.com.
Right, I remember that, yeah.
And this was, Before Sunset, was kind of my ticket in to write for the website. So they said, go see a movie, write a review about it, and if that's nice, if that's passable for us, then you're in. And I was like, okay. And I don't even know why I picked Before Sunset, or maybe they picked it for me. I don't know. Anyway, I was blown away by it. So in Before Sunset, for people who don't know, it's 10 years after that one magical night in Vienna.
Right.
They meet again. They have different lives. Jesse is a published author who wrote a book that... a book which story is exactly the story that they encountered 10 years ago. So he basically wrote a book about their night.
Yeah.
And then he goes to Paris for his book tour, and Celine is there, obviously. And they do exactly the same thing. They walk and they talk about what has happened in the past 10 years. Jesse's married, but he's unhappy in his marriage. Celine has had lots of guys date her, then leave her, and then get married, which bugs her enormously. And they talk about that. They just talk about their lives, man. And I don't know. It's so intimate. It's so intimate. And the way they address each other, the way they look at each other, the things they discuss, it's not always about romance or what you do together or not. It's about mundane, everyday life stuff. But it's so on point, everything they say. I catch myself sometimes telling people stories. Like I've heard a friend once tell me, and I tell a story, and it's just a story from the movies. Literally.
Yeah.
There's this one story in Before Sunrise. They're in a church, and Jesse's talking to Celine. I knew this guy once. I had his friends one time, and he pulls up. There's a red light in his car. He pulls up the red light, and there's a homeless guy. And the homeless guy is like, hey, can I have a bit of money? And my friend says... he holds out $20. He holds out a $20 bill, and he says, "Do you believe in God?" And the homeless man looks at him, looks at the bill, and he says, "Yes, sir, I do." And my friend says, "Wrong answer." He takes the bill and he drives off. That's like a story that Jesse tells in the movie, and I've literally told this story to people. Like, yeah, I once heard this story, like this guy, and it's just the story from the movie. But like, it's all the 3 movies. It's all the time like that. And then, of course, it's a trilogy. You follow these people throughout their lives, basically. It's like the other Richard Linklater movie, Boyhood, where he also a masterpiece, in my opinion. I know people who hate the movie.
Yeah, but I like it too.
I love it. But the gimmick there is, it's not really a gimmick, but the gimmick there is, it's one movie, but literally set in different spaces in time, and he filmed the movie.
Filmed for like 12 years or something.
Exactly. The actors age along with the movie.
And he's doing the same thing now. He's working on a movie that's coming out in 2040.
Exactly.
Funny. I hope he makes it. You never know. Yeah.
Exactly. And that's not really, before movies are a trilogy, but it's basically the same thing. By the time you see them in Before Sunset, they have kids together.
No, sorry, Before Midnight. You mean?
Before Midnight, I'm sorry. They have kids together. Because Before Sunset ends very romantically, that you can tell, okay, they're
oh,
gonna be
baby,
together.
you're going to miss that plane.
I know. I get goosebumps just thinking about this.
It's so good.
And life has caught up with them in Before Midnight. I won't spoil it because you haven't seen it yet.
I haven't seen it. So,
But, there's... everyday life, he has a kid with another woman, the woman who's married to in Before Sunset.
His first wife.
They have kids together, they go on a trip to Greece, and there's, in the beginning everything is nice, and they're talking with friends, and it's nice, but the more they talk, the more they realize that they've kind of lost who they were 10 years ago, let alone 20 years ago. And that's basically what the last movie is about. I won't spoil the ending, but that's basically what it is. So just the story of Jesse and Celine, I don't know any 2 other characters I sympathize more with than those 2.
I also heard that they have a cameo in another Richard Linklater movie. I think it's called A Scanner Darkly. It's like I've never seen it, but it's quite a cool concept. It's it's rotoscope. So every actor is like traced over, as in the Take On Me video.
Yeah.
And apparently it's a very good movie. I've never seen it. It's like a science fiction movie, A Scanner Darkly, but there is a cameo for Celine and
there you go.
So,
I don't know.
Yeah, we should check it out. Well, I should check out Before Midnight.
You should. I mean, it's my least favorite of the 3, but only my very small. Like I said in the beginning, maybe because I haven't gotten there yet.
Yeah, perhaps.
Because I did realize as I was growing older, like I saw Before Sunset first, but then after I saw it, I immediately went to rent or maybe illegally download Before Sunrise.
We don't mention the...
Sorry.
This is a house of physical media, Mathieu.
No, but rightfully so. No. And then the first 10 years, maybe, I was more into Before Sunrise. It's just only romance, like real romance. Getting off the train together, spending this magical night in this beautiful city. Oh my God. But then in Before Sunset, there's life starts catching up with them, and they're, Jesse's unhappy in his marriage, Selena's unhappy in her love life, in general. And I realized as I got older, I started sympathizing more with them in Before Sunset than Before Sunrise. So maybe in 5 years. Hopefully not too much, but
I also like the fact that the second one, so Before Sunset, is filmed in real time. I really like that. It's really like a 90-minute snapshot of these 2 characters live.
Exactly.
At that point in time,
2004. Talking about cameos, in Before Sunset, Julie Delpy's parents play her parents.
Right. I read that, or I heard that. Yeah.
The dad is behind a barbecue, and the mom walks up to them and says, "Who's this? Il est mignon." That's her mom.
I love that when they. That's something. It's not done very often, but when it's done, it can be very nice. When real parents or real relatives pop up in a cameo role. I think, for example, in The Goonies, one of my favorites, most of the parents are played by the actors' real parents. Okay. And I think in The Breakfast Club as well. Not all of them. Oh, really? Not all of them, but some of the parents that drop off their kids at detention are also the actors' real. I think Molly Ringwald's is her dad. And of course, it's not Martin Sheen, because we would know that. That would be too obvious. So Emilio Estevez is not is not Martin Sheen, or actually what is it? What's his real name? Of course, Estevez, but it's not Martin. It's I should know that.
I forgot.
I should know that. Of course.
I just saw it a couple of days ago.
Yeah, Charlie Sheen is Carlos Esteves.
Yeah.
This is really bugging me. What's the name of Martin Sheen?
Can you do live fact checks?
We could, but let's
not go
chime in the. There's one more thing I have to do before we move on because of course, I have to mention that only the first movie did come out on LaserDisc. This is Before Sunrise. Before Sunset came out in 2004 when the format was dead. And funny thing is, I found this in Paris. Couldn't be more appropriate. So there's a very cool retro nerdy store in the Rue Dante, I think. Rue Dante, something like that, Dante Street. And this was just €5. So I was very happy to find one of my favorite movies on LaserDisc.
It looks like a 50s romantic movie with the cover like this.
The cover is not the best, actually. I think the DVD has a better cover. But... And even Siskel and Ebert said two thumbs up, which is also a very Simpson-esque quote, because when they go to the movies and Grandpa says, turn it up.
Hey, nice, man.
Yeah, we'll put it here for a few seconds.
I have a feeling, maybe last thing to say about the Before trilogy.
It's a very good...
I have this feeling that it's becoming like a really cult phenomenon. Like, I've noticed, maybe it's the algorithms, but I've noticed like on Instagram in particular... all the time, like all the movie accounts on Instagram, they all post about the Before films all the time. Like no idea. Every day I am scrolling and I meet Jesse and Celine again, and like certain scenes that they always bring back. Yeah.
Very nice. Have you ever heard the tragic true story behind the first?
Yeah. Richard Linklater, he kind of had the same thing.
Experience,
he met someone, the same experience. He met this girl and they had a wonderful night or nights, I don't know, together.
Yeah.
And then years later, he wanted to look her up because he was making this film.
Yeah, I think he already
made it.
Or he was, I'm not sure. Either he just made it or he wanted to like reach out like, hey, by the way, I made a movie based on her.
And she died.
She had already, she passed away before he made the movie. That's so horrible.
Yeah.
So she never reached the age of 30, I think. She never... what a sad thing, because it would have been even if they never got together, they never married, but what a sweet, tender, like sort of memento to their one night whatever fling or one night talk, whatever. So sad that she passed away before any of this.
Which is basically how Before Sunset begins. He wrote his book about one magical night. He's doing the book tour. Journalists are asking him about. And then this one woman in horrible English is like, did you really meet this girl and spend the night with in Vienna? And she's like, okay, because this is the last stop on my book tour. Yes, there was. And then obviously she's already standing there. I love those films, man. I love them.
Yeah, I sure hope that at least her family saw or got something out of it, some solace in that.
I would think so.
Her very short life at least inspired a very accomplished movie trilogy. So let's hope.
Most definitely.
But before we end on a downer note, Mathieu, what's your number 5?
My number 5. I've told you this before. It's a little eclectic, my taste. There's going to be some other movies that are like in the same ballpark, maybe, as the Before trilogy. Let's do something completely else. Let's do Hot Shots.
Hot Shots.
It's
funny because we just
I could also just have picked two.
Charlie Sheen, yeah.
You were talking about Charlie Sheen.
That's really funny.
Let's go, because the first one has a slight edge over the second one for me personally. But one of the best cameos in movie history is in the second one when they're riding in a journey. That's the second one when they're on the.
I forgot.
It's been years. The river. They're on the river, and Charlie Sheen's character, Topper Harley, is riding in his diary, and he has this very, very particular line that I now am forgetting, but it's something like, I know, it's basically he's in hell. That's what he's writing, and he's writing, and the voiceover is his voice writing his journal, and then suddenly you hear another voice, and it's Martin Sheen, and they're passing each other on the boat. So Martin Sheen in full Apocalypse Now
of course.
And they're passing each other. So Martin is looking at Charlie, and they point at each other as they're passing by on the boats, and they're both like, "I loved you in Wall Street," and then they're like. And then they're gone. One of the best cameos in movie history.
I saw Hot Shot Part 2. I think way before I even knew who Martin Sheen was. So I think it flew over my head.
Yeah.
And I think, by the way, I remember his name now. It's Ramon Esteves.
Ramon Esteves. Exactly.
Ramon, yes, which is a great name. Why would you? Yeah, of course, because you want to.
You couldn't get a job if you were
what
called
a cool
Ramon
name,
Esteves.
Ramon Esteves. And I like the fact that Emilio stayed true to his roots. He said, "Fuck this, I'm gonna stay with Esteves." So he made it too. So But of course, 20 years later, so perhaps policies had changed.
Maybe.
Hot Shots Part 1 then, yeah.
I was doing this exercise in my head, like, what are my 5 favorite movies? What are my 5 favorite movies? And I think Sven de Ridder said this as well in your podcast, because I didn't listen well, but you said it in the beginning. It's the movies you can watch time and time again. If Hot Shots is on TV and there's nothing really urgent that I have to do or watch, I'm watching Hot Shots, man. There's no way around it. If Hot Shots is on TV, 1 or 2, I'm watching Hot Shots, and it's a lot like, it's the same director and the same guys behind it. I think it's what Airplane was like for people who were like
or 10, The Naked Gun,
or The Naked Gun, or The Naked Gun. Like, I know you are a very big Naked Gun guy. I love the Naked Gun movies. Somehow Hot Shots struck an extra nerve with me. I don't know what it is. I have one thing. I mean, one thing that the Naked Gun doesn't have that Hot Shots has is Lloyd Bridges, who is just absolutely, oh my god,
he's so hilarious,
the funniest guy ever. Like everything the guy says in both movies is a joke. Everything he says is a joke.
Yeah, no.
And every time he finishes talking or doing something, like, I don't know if you remember, he takes out the handkerchief and he puts it in one ear and pulls it out the other to show, because
because that's how it
all
works.
Different kinds of accidents. So, and every time he mentions another accident, which means another titanium plate in his head or whatever somewhere. In the beginning of the movie, he says something like, I've flown 273 missions in my life. Got shot down every one. Come to think about it, I never landed a plane in my life. It's like that kind of stuff all the time with him. Oh my God, I love it. I
think Lloyd Bridges is also one of the very, very few people who ended up getting eclipsed by his son. That's one of my favorite things to think about. Nepotism, nepo babies, whatever. But there's I think you can count on your one hand the people who actually became more popular than their dad. I think it's Michael Douglas. Of course, Kirk Douglas is an icon. He's an icon. But when you talk to, let's say, a 20-year-old today, he might still know Michael Douglas from Marvel movies, but he might not know Kirk Douglas.
No, they wouldn't know Kirk.
Jeff Bridges is also very famous. Big Lebowski, the Tron movies. So he's still relevant today, and lots of younger people will have forgotten or have never heard of Lloyd Bridges.
No.
And I think the third example, I don't think I can even get to 5. I think is Matthias Schoenaerts. Who is a lot more famous worldwide than his dad. Of course, his dad is like the monolith in Belgian cinema, but worldwide it's Matthias all the way. And that's funny because it's, of course...
But even in Belgium, I mean, even a 30-year-old in Belgium who is Matthias Schoenaerts' father...
But 50-year-old will still say, Julien. It's like Jan de Cler, Julien Schoenaerts, the big guys. But I remember... time passes quite fast. In 2010, so 15 years ago, 16 years ago, I was talking to, him, the very famous Dutch director of the Disney movies, Arnold Gelderman, the guy who did all the Disney movies, all the Disney Dutch dubs. And that's fun. In 2010, Matthias Schoenaerts was still starting out. That was the year before Bullhead. And I remember he was just asking, name me one famous Belgian actor of today. And I said, Matthias Schoenaerts. He said, Julien's son. So even a Dutch guy, he would still pick Julien, because back then Matthias was not the famous guy. I love it. Famous offspring that eclipse their dad. It's very rare. It's very hard to do. Okay, number 4, Mathieu.
Number four. I'm thinking, because I don't have a really... Which one should I pick now? Let's go with... Okay, let's go back to the romance.
Okay. So it's romance, comedy, romance.
Romance, comedy, romance, and then something else entirely that you're going to love, I think.
Okay.
But let's not go there yet. Let's go romance, and with one, actually, maybe if people ask me what are your favorite movies, and I mentioned 2, 3, 4, this one is always in it, and it's Eternal Sunshine of the Spotless Mind.
I thought so. Yeah.
You know me.
I thought so. Yeah.
No. I mean, Eternal Sunshine of the Spotless Mind is an incredible feat in both writing, directing, acting. But apart from all that technical stuff, I mean, technically it's a beautifully shot film, and I've seen all the documentaries about how Michel Gondry made the movie. Almost no special effects, almost all practical effects. I mean, incredible work. But it's the heart of the movie that is so spectacularly beautiful in every single way. For people who haven't seen it, very short. It's about... 2 people who love each other end up hating each other, and apparently there's this company that allows you to erase someone from your mind. Like when you have the procedure done, you don't remember anything about that person that you once loved and ended up hating at all. So Jim Carrey plays this guy, Joel, and he's had this done to him by his former lover, played by Kate Winslet.
Yeah, she decided it for him, right?
No, she did it for her.
Right.
And then he accidentally found out about it.
True, it's been years since I saw it.
He accidentally found out about it, and then he's like, then I want to do it too. And then basically the movie is you go through in his brain, you step inside his brain, inside his memories of her, of Kate Winslet.
Mm-hmm.
And kind of, how do you say it, anachronistically switch between memories of them, of her, of them together. At first, the bad ones, the last ones, the ones when they were already a bad couple and they were calling each other names and having fights and walking out and all that stuff. But then gradually, you see them how they once were. And then, somewhere halfway, it culminates in Joel in his mind saying, Merzwiak, that's the guy who's doing it, please let me hold on to this memory. And it's a very tiny, gentle memory of them playing under a blanket. And she just had her hair turned orange. He's like, you look like a tangerine. And he's like, let me keep this memory. But of course, no, because they're doing it as he's going through those memories. So that one goes through. And then he kind of decides to hide and run away in his brain where the memory guys who are deleting all the memories can't find them. And it's so beautiful. And they go back to his childhood and it's all so beautifully and so well done that I can watch this every time. Kind of like Hot Shots, but in a different mindset. And I'll be enamored with those two characters every time. Every time.
Yeah.
Beautiful music as well.
Who composed it?
John Bryan composed I don't know what else John Bryan has done. I just remember the name.
He did enough.
He did enough. He did this film.
Yeah.
And he did the cover from the Corgis. Everybody's Gonna Learn Sometime with Beck, which is
a great cover. Yeah, great.
My God. So beautiful. And the funny thing is, I never noticed this until I saw it written down somewhere. The how do you say it? The beginning credits? Or how do you say it?
Opening credits.
The opening credits, exactly. The opening credits with Everybody's Gonna Learn Sometime in the background. It starts. I think you're already half an hour inside the movie because you see them in the beginning after they both had procedure done and they run into each other again and have this connection. But they don't know each other, of course, and they have this connection. And then they kind of like arrange a meet, and from then it goes to the opening credits, and you go back into the past with Joel crying his eyes out because he just broke up with Clementine's surname, Kate Winslet.
Yeah, right.
And then that's where the music kicks in, and then you get to see the opening credits, but it's like already 25 minutes into the movie, I think. And that's, I don't want to get in this podcast, get too philosophical about love or anything.
No, you can.
But but that's the most beautiful. Can we spoil the ending? Because it's a very, very old movie. Can we spoil the ending? Because the ending is so incredibly beautiful.
Okay, let's insert a very obvious spoiler warning. So stop watching now.
Alerts.
Stop warning now. I don't like spoilers. So yeah, if we at least acknowledge them. Yeah, okay. So stop watching now. Otherwise, continue.
Okay. The movie ends with them finding out that they both had each other erased from their memories. And obviously are both very much in love with each other. And they're telling each other, especially Clementine is telling Joel, we can do this now, but we know what's going to happen. I'm going to get bored of you, and you're going to get, annoyed with me, and there's no way this is going to work forever. And Joel says, okay. Okay. And that's how it ends. And it's so beautiful. And then as the ending credits start to roll, you see a clip of them in the snow playing. And it's I don't know if you ever noticed, it always goes back to the beginning of that clip. It's like a 10-second clip. They're running through the snow. And then it goes back and they're running again. And it goes back and they're running again. So which in my mind, there are plenty of theories online. In my mind, this says that they keep doing it.
Right.
They fall in love.
Sort of like Groundhog Day, actually.
Kind of like Groundhog Day. They fall in love. They have an amazing time. After a while, they get bored, annoyed with each other. They break up. They erase each other from their memories. And
they start all over again.
And they do it again. The only caveat, and that's maybe the last thing to say about this one, the only caveat there is in this version, the one we see in the movie, there's this girl who works for the company that does it, played by Kirsten Dunst, who finds out about everything, who also has a relationship with her boss, which is crazy. And then she finds out that she had her memory erased to erase her love for her boss, etc. And she leaves the company and mails all the former clients what they have had done. So maybe that also could say like, okay, this is the last time, because now everybody's finding out about each other. The company's probably going to end up in lawsuits and whatever. Yeah. And this is the end. That's maybe also a way to say it. Yeah. In my mind, they've either had it done 10 times before or they'll keep doing it 10 or 20 times. I don't know.
Who knows?
Which is fine.
Sure.
Why not? Why not just enjoy this couple of great years you have together, and then of course get your memory erased and do it again. But even like in real life, you know, that has value. Like I see people bitch about their former lovers or broken up relationships or whatever, and I know I understand the pain that goes with it, but there's also a lot of beauty there. There's been love there. You really love this person. And that has some value in this.
True.
In this crazy world.
Although I find myself thinking it would be nice to get the procedure done for a particularly nasty ex-girlfriend.
Yeah, I mean, of course, it appeals to something that we've all thought about. About at least one or more people in our lives. Like, I could do without this. Yeah.
But still, let's say all our past memories and experiences, they make us who we are today. So
of course.
Perhaps,
of course. I mean, it's just like a typical philosophical thing. Like, if you could do it all over again, what would you do differently? I wouldn't do a lot differently, I think. I mean, like you said, everything you do or you have done in your life leads to this point. And you can be bitter about certain things or you can be angry about certain things that have happened. But they all made you who you are.
There are, however, I can pinpoint like a few memories, like something very embarrassing you did, and you can sometimes is that recognizable to you? Like you're driving your car and you can think, why did I say that?
Of course.
Why? Like shouting to yourself,
of
why?
Course.
Fool. Those small things I would love to erase. Just those very. I think Otto Jan once. It's weird that I call him Otto Jan. I don't know him. Mr. Ham.
My good friend.
No, I've never met him. No, he told this in Alex Agnew's podcast. He said he once called Noel Gallagher Liam Gallagher. And he says, I know a lot about music. And it's true. I mean, he knows a lot about music. He had like a radio show for more than 10 years. He really knows his music. And he said the only reason why it happened was because he was waiting in the sort of like the green room, waiting for the interview to start. And some assistant or some executive, whatever, she told him, wait, you're not talking to Noel today. It's Liam, just like a minute before. And that's what he was so confused, even though he knew who Liam was, he knew who Noel was, and he made the horrible mistake of calling Noel Liam. So, and he says,
"I can still coming back from that."
He says, "I can still hear myself saying it out loud. Like, what was I thinking?" And I can totally get it. Yeah, it's horrible.
I mean, every person has that kind of stuff. Like you say, when you're driving, those thoughts come to me in the middle of the night. I'm lying in bed, and like, oh my god! And it's a random memory from 11 years ago.
A shudder down your spine, like why?
Yeah, exactly. But I mean, you know, that kind of stuff is what makes you human. I mean, because
we make mistakes.
Yeah, of course we do. I was thinking about like. She's never going to see this, but I've had previous relationships as well. And one in particular ended really nasty. I mean, really, terrible. And we both did terrible things to each other. But even that relationship, when I look back at it now, I mean, I've been together with
your wife,
my
Ellen.
We're not married, but let me say my wife, my life partner, Ellen. We've been together 15 years now.
Your wife-esque girlfriend.
Yeah, that's nice. My wife-esque girlfriend. So it's all a long time ago. It's all water under the bridge. So even the very, very nasty stuff, I forget about that, and I just remember nice times with the woman I have in mind right now, but also all the other ones.
65 girlfriends
of other women. No. But I mean, you have to tend or try to remember the good stuff, and I think I organically do that. Like the nasty stuff. I mean, fuck it.
Yeah. Number 3, Mathieu.
Okay, number 3. So we've had romance, comedy, romance. Let me think. Okay. Okay, let's go somewhere completely different. Terminator 2, Judgment Day.
I've only seen it once.
Really?
Really, and quite late in life, like 2017.
Okay.
It played again in theaters for like a day, and I said, well...
You've seen it in the theater?
Yeah.
I've never seen it in the theater.
Because, of course, we were only like 6 or 7 years old.
Yeah, I was 1992.
So I had the pleasure to see it in the theaters, but only once, and I don't have a single... I don't have a single copy of Terminator 2 in my house, which is weird because it came out on every format available.
Of course, yeah.
But I've never bought it. So tell me, why do you like Terminator 2 so much?
Again, the rewatchability of it, especially for action films, about science fiction action films. 1992, that's more than 30 years ago?
1991.
Or one?
Yeah.
More than 30 years ago.
Yeah,
it holds up to
35 years
I mean, what did you think of it when you saw it in 2017?
Yeah,
it's
I like
already
it. Yeah.
Also 10 years ago, but still.
Yeah. Great movie,
It's a great movie, and it holds up. Like, the technology behind it, the special effects, everything, it holds up.
Yeah, it's...
Which is a crazy difference. I don't know if you've seen the first one.
No, I haven't.
The first one is amazing. And
that's like a low-budget movie, right?
Yeah, it's a lot more low budget.
Second one was the most expensive movie at the time.
At the time, the most expensive, I think 100 million euros.
Something like that, super expensive.
Which at the time was exactly the most expensive film ever. But the first one was like, if you look back at it now, it's charming. Like, you see the practical effects that they use for the Terminator, it's stop motion. So they built a sort of like metallic skeleton, and in stop motion they made it run and walk and do. But I mean, it's not believable, but it's nice. The second film, more than 30 years old today, is still completely believable. I mean, you know, you have to. The suspension of disbelief is enormous, but because there's this guy who's made out of liquid metal who can walk through bars and stuff like that. I mean, but they make it believable.
Yeah.
Everything works in that movie.
Yeah.
So that in itself is an amazing feat, and it's probably only possible because James Cameron directed it. But I don't know. What is it that makes me always go back to this one? It's the same thing like with Hot Shots. If Terminator 2 is on, I'm watching it. You know, I can't pull myself away from it.
You have to stop in your tracks. And
I'm watching it, yeah. And even with like current technology, I'm just watching it from the beginning. And I know it's probably on some streaming website or
you
service.
don't own Terminator 2 in your...
I don't own Terminator 2.
Not a single, not a DVD, not a Blu-ray, nothing?
No, I don't own it. But it's like on television like every 6 months. Right. So it's not really...
It's,
I think I have it in my recordings from my on my Digibox from Telenet. Yeah.
Your TiVo, as Americans
my TiVo.
We never had TiVo in Belgium.
No, we didn't. I remember seeing TiVo in like Family Guy
or The Simpsons.
The Simpsons, and I'm like, what is
a TiVo? I still don't know what it is. I think it's sort of like a digicorder, as we would say. But I think you could even like also program ahead. There was some advantage to TiVo, but I can't. If anyone knows,
let us know.
But it never. I think it's still technically available, but I don't think it has lots of use nowadays because, of course, also in America, people just have their streaming and their digicorders now. I don't know what TiVo does, but let's get back to Terminator 2. You always watch it.
I always watch it. There are two things I want to say about Terminator 2.
Okay.
The first thing is I want to brag. I want to brag because of all the films, I think this is the only one. I've actually met one of the actors from the movie.
Let me guess. Edward Furlong.
No.
Robert Patrick?
I once interviewed Robert Patrick.
Wow. For
this was nobody's gonna have heard of this, but if you have, let us know. There once was a series. It lasted half a season, 15 episodes. And it was called, if I'm not mistaken, Last Resort.
Okay.
So I forgot which channel in America
it was his
on.
career's last resort.
And it was called Last Resort, and it was about a nuclear submarine, the crew of a nuclear submarine, kind of like Crimson Tide. It was a crew of a nuclear submarine, and they've had word that the nuclear holocaust had begun, and everyone was firing missiles at each other, and the entire world was doomed, and they were in the submarine not knowing who is alive, who is dead, lost all communications. What they're going to... So a nice premise for a show. But apparently it wasn't very good. And they canceled it after 15 episodes. But for some reason, Canal Plus,
Yeah, that's something else.
Pay-per-view channel from back in the day.
From the,
had the rights to Last Resort. And for an even bigger, crazy coincidence of a reason, they also were in line to send a journalist to this particular show to go interview the cast and whatever. And, they take turns. I was the only Belgian guy there. They probably take turns. Now it's time for the Dutch guys, and now it's time for the French guy. And for that particular show, they was like, okay, let's call Belgium and let's have a Belgian journalist. And I don't know. I think it was Ziggy Moons. You know Ziggy Moons? I don't know him even personally, but he works for, I think, now Telenet. And back then, I think Canal+. Maybe I'm completely wrong. I don't know. But I think he was the guy that mailed me and said, like, hey, we can send a journalist to Hawaii to interview the cast of this brand new show called Last Resort. Do you want to go? So I'm like, oh, fuck yeah.
I
was working I was working for Pay Magazine at the time.
Yeah.
A weekly men's magazine.
Yeah.
And wrote a lot about television and stuff like that. So that's how, by some coincidence, that question came up to me. So, of course, I did it. And I went to fucking Hawaii to interview the cast of this
all expenses paid.
All expenses paid.
Wow.
All expenses paid. Wow. And I'm still in touch with a bunch of other journalists who went to the same trip. I was the only European guy there.
That's very
all
cool.
The other ones were Americans, but, it was Facebook time already back then. I think it was 2010, 2011, something like that. And I'm still in touch with most of them. So I went to Hawaii, interviewed the entire cast. Also, I'm thinking about his first name. It's Andre, I think, Brahar, who recently died.
Yeah, from Brooklyn Nine-Nine.
Brooklyn Nine-Nine.
Amazing actor.
Yeah,
Amazing
he was
actor.
the lead in that
series.
Great
actor.
Very charming guy. Very nice guy.
He looks very charming. Wow.
Very nice guy. And then a bunch of other people that I kind of forgot who they were. But also Robert Patrick. So he was there as well. He played not a minor part, but a lesser part.
Was he friendly?
He was amazing.
Really? Yeah.
He was amazing. He was politically, he's not aligned with me. He's like a staunch Republican. This was pre-MAGA and pre-Trump, but he was like, military and fuck the government. He was like, all that kind of stuff, which isn't how I see the world, but whatever. I mean, we hit it off for some reason. I didn't even mention Terminator 2, I think, in the interview, because of course I had to go about Last Resort, etc. But he was like going on about how his family has a proud tradition in the military. His great-grandfather and his grandfather and his father, they all served in the military. And he became an actor. But he tried to honor his family's tradition by playing military roles and stuff like that. And then he was talking about it, and I was very fascinated about how he was talking about all these crazy stories from his family. And then I mentioned I was from Belgium. He's like, oh my God, Belgium, my grandfather fought in Belgium. And he's like, oh, we liberated you. And he's like, oh my God, thank you. Yeah. So, this was amazing. It was just a 20-minute interview, but he blew me away.
That's a lot of minutes, because normally you only get like 5 or 6.
And it was just one-on-one, because usually those, especially for the written press, it's like junkets with 10 or 15 people or even press.
It's really a lot, 20
so
minutes.
I can still picture myself sitting across from him around a table with the Hawaiian Sea in the background. I mean, it was crazy.
Do you have a picture of you with your...
No, this was already Facebook time, but pre-iPhone time. I had a camera with me. I took a lot of pictures, but I didn't take any pictures with the cast. I never did it, actually. I never, because I interviewed,
of course,
a couple of other famous actors and actresses, but I never did that kind of stuff. It always felt a little icky. And sometimes I even had to do it because they organized, everybody had to stand in line, and they organized photo shoots for all the journalists, because apparently lots of them asked about it.
Yeah, so I think sometimes it's in the magazine, it'll be like...
I understand.
A photo of you with the...
I have a picture of me with Michael C. Hall from Dexter.
That's not bad.
Which isn't bad, and a couple of other people, but I never really did it. So I don't have a picture with him, so you just have to kind of believe me. The interview is published in Pay Magazine, 2 pages in Pay Magazine.
I trust you.
And he was amazing. So last thing I want to say about him, an hour later, I was interviewing someone else, or we were just about done, and he walked in again for some reason into the room where we did the interviews, and he was like, poured in a glass of water, had a drink, and looked at me and was like, Belgium, man. Belgium. And I was like, Yeah. Do you want me to say anything? And then he walked out again. And that's the last time I saw Robert Patrick. Love the guy.
Well, famous last words, Belgium.
Yeah, exactly. No. And now I follow him on Twitter. He's on Twitter now.
Cool.
Robert Patrick. And he's posting photos of his motorcycle and stuff. Right. Anyway, so that's so far the Robert Patrick story. The other thing I want to mention about Terminator 2, this is going to sound weird. It's the sound design. I don't know if I'm the only one, but the sounds of Terminator 2 are so crisp. They're so well done. I don't know. It's the only movie I've ever thought something like that, because I don't care about sound. I don't watch movies for the sound. But the sounds of Terminator 2 are so particular. Like, there's a couple of scenes like I mentioned. One is when Edward Furlong's character, John Connor, first meets both machines. He meets Arnold Schwarzenegger and Robert Patrick in the hallway of the mall that they're at. Schwarzenegger hides his gun in a case of flowers. And he drops the flowers and he steps on the flowers. That sound of stepping on the flowers is so... you can feel it everywhere. It's so weird. And then there's a bunch of examples I can give, but the other one, the sound that I absolutely love and have never heard again ever, is much later in the movie when Robert Patrick is morphed into this police officer on a motorcycle. And he takes a motorcycle and he runs the motorcycle up the stairs. He's like, and he goes up the stairs. I can mimic the sound because it's so peculiar, but that sound of the motorcycle, the revving of the motorcycle up the stairs, like, and then turn. Oh my god, it's so good.
I should watch it again.
You should watch it again. Everyone who's watching this should watch the movie again and just.
Now I wonder if did they win the Oscar for best sound design?
I think they did.
They should.
I think they did. I didn't really look it up, but
what other 1991 movie had better sound? I don't know.
I can tell you, none.
1991 was a great year for pop culture, by the way. So you had like Nevermind by Nirvana. There was Dangerous by Michael Jackson, my favorite Michael Jackson album. There's Beauty and the Beast, one of the best Disney movies of all time. So yeah, 1991 is quite... There's Point Break, also a very great sound design as well. So yeah, great movie. Great year. Great year for pop culture, 1991.
Good year for movies, man.
For movies and for music and
pop
for...
culture in general,
I'm thinking, is there something else from 1991? Like games? I can't remember. Probably there's something else as well.
Probably. So yeah, Terminator 2, and apart from all that stuff, just an amazing movie. Come on, like the final scene in the melting, how do you call it, the steel melting factory.
Something,
whatever. Something. My god. Also there, the sound of the alarm. The sound of the alarm in the steel factory.
I don't remember.
I'm not gonna
I've only
mimic
seen it once,
but I've never heard an alarm sound like that. all of it is so good.
They call it the Terminator alarm.
The Terminator alarm. No, so good. Yeah.
Well, great.
Sad for Edward Furlong that he didn't really have a career after that. He got addicted to.
Didn't really work out.
A bunch of different kind of drugs.
Yeah, well, it's. I think one of the better things to come out of, let's say, more recent years is that it seems that child actors are really taken care of better nowadays. We still had like Lindsay Lohan. She's back on track. Luckily, she's back. Macaulay Culkin survived. I'm very happy for him. He has 2 kids. He's back on track. But like the more recent, if you see like the Harry Potter actors, Daniel Radcliffe had some alcohol problems, but never extreme. And there's what's her name? I forgot. Emma Watson doing very well. UNICEF ambassador. Rupert Grint is doing just normal things. He bought like an ice cream truck. Normal thing. If that's your weird thing to do, please buy an ice cream truck. Don't buy drugs. It seemed like even the Stranger Things cast, they seem to be sort of well adjusted. I think there's been a sort of different climate in how child actors get towards adulthood, and I think that's very positive.
Yeah, luckily.
It's been decades that they were abused and mistreated, and you just have to think of Julie Garland, who barely she never reached the age of 50. She died at 47. Horrible examples aplenty. Brett Renfro, etc. But Corey Haim. But luckily nowadays it seems to be a lot better.
So even in Belgium, they were already taken care of nicely. But the first, how do you say, the batch of like me characters in Belgium, probably Daz,
Camille, Maxime,
Schuster, Maxime, all those guys. They were doing fine. They weren't mistreated, obviously, at all. But for the second, they went on their different careers now, and now there's a new cast of like me. And this was actually in the news that VRT is actually making even more strides to.
That's nice.
How to say it? Accompany them, to protect them, to
towards
cherish
fame,
them, towards fame and everything that is going their way, because they saw it happening to Pommeline and Camille. I mean,
of course.
The way the entire cast, but especially those two girls, Pommeline and Camille, how they managed that entire situation and are still managing it today, and the success that they're making. It's insane. It's insane.
It's like 17 Mia Awards.
Props to them, both of them, because now it's Pommeline, but also Camille. They've done incredible stuff that most people can only dream of, and they're like kids.
They're barely 20,
early 20s now, but they were children. They were 17, 18 years old when Like Me became so famous and popular. So yeah, props to them. This is something
for any viewers out there who don't know what Like Me is. Like Me is like a television series, Belgian television series, and I think to like summarize it, I've never seen it, but I should, because I have a cameo.
Oh really? Okay.
But I should know. I think you might be able to summarize it more or better than me. But it's like they use famous songs, older songs, Belgian songs, and they sort of update the lyrics or update the arrangement to modern times. I don't
think they update the lyrics that
a little,
much.
Perhaps.
Maybe a little. But, I don't know.
And it's just like songs and dance in a sort of sitcom-esque setting.
I haven't seen it either.
Yeah, but
it's a school environment.
It's very popular, and I
think you can compare it a little bit to Glee.
Yeah, something like that, or Fame in the 80s.
Maybe
I think,
Fame again. Yeah. But hugely popular in Belgium. I have two boys. They never cared for it. Maybe girls are more.
Perhaps they're a little too young for it, right?
Or maybe I think Lou is 10 years old. I mean, I think he's already the target audience. I think.
Yeah. What do you boys like to watch? What's their
YouTube.
So they watch my channel, of course.
Not yet. They will after this, No, Lou is all about football. He plays football, so he almost only watches football stuff.
Right.
And Charlie's into Minecraft, so I think from the two, Charlie's gonna be a YouTuber as well. From those two, I think, because Charlie's now watching people play Minecraft. And
right. I want to do that.
10 years, he's doing it himself. I think. Yeah, we'll see how that works out.
Good luck to them. No. I was not being sarcastic. Good luck to you, boys. Number 2, Mathieu.
Okay, number 2. We haven't done comedy yet. Let's do comedy.
You did.
Oh, we did Hot Shots. Yeah. We haven't done romantic comedy yet. Yeah. Let's do romantic comedy.
Can you give me like a hint? Can I guess?
Of course. This isn't narrowing it down a lot, but Hugh Grant.
Okay, yeah. So
now you have two options.
If I know you, Notting Hill.
Yeah. No. Hey, you've done well with the guessing.
Yeah.
Notting Hill. I have to include Notting Hill. It's not the best movie ever, of course, but it's such a charming romantic comedy. Everything they do in Notting Hill, they don't do a lot, but everything they do perfectly. They do perfectly. The story is what it is. What happens if a commoner, a random guy from the street, like we say in Dutch, from the street, meets this incredibly famous woman, and
she's
they hit it off. And
let's say top 5 most famous actresses.
Well, yeah, she's played by Julia.
Actually, Julia Roberts was at the time. She's not the star she was back then, but of course she's still Julia Roberts. But in the 90s, Julia Roberts was the number 1 box office draw. She was Julia Roberts.
And her character in the movie is as big as she was at that exact time.
This is a year before Erin Brockovich, which finally got her the Oscar. But of course, in '99, Julia Roberts was on the top of her game. She was like the biggest female star in the world.
Who is it now? Who is like the biggest female movie star at this moment? I have no like a name I think of, but it's not the same at all. But Jennifer Lawrence is someone like I mean, she's already won the Oscar. She does different things now, but she like 7, 8, 9 years ago she was everywhere.
Yeah, she was the it girl. Right. Jennifer.
Maybe Margot Robbie.
All right.
Margot Robbie. She's in Wuthering Heights now.
She's a movie star. Yeah, let's go with Margot Robbie. Yeah, Julia Roberts was the Margot Robbie of her day.
Yeah. Because there's a scene in Notting Hill where this guy who doesn't recognize her asks her, "What do you do?" "Oh, I'm an actress." "Oh yeah, you what kind of acting do you do?" "Movies." We say, "What's the pay in movies?" "Last movie you made, what did you get paid?" She's like, $15 million, which is what she was paid for Notting Hill.
Yeah.
And then Bernie, as his character, was like, "Right, that's rather good then."
And that's also back then he wasn't as famous as he is now, but that's Hugh Bonneville.
Hugh Bonneville,
from Downton Abbey. I love that.
Hugh Bonneville.
It's you know the website TV Tropes, right? You know,
I do.
That's a trope called retroactive recognition. So you didn't know him back then, but now you know him.
Yeah.
And that's funny, I think, because he's very good, but we never knew he was like just a supporting actor in this movie, but he's very famous in his own right now. He's the guy from Downton Abbey, the main character.
Exactly. I love his character.
Yeah, very funny.
Because, I mean, my favorite scene of the entire movie, and I don't even know how you begin to replicate that kind of scene. It's where William takes Anna to his little sister's birthday party,
right?
In the house of Bella, and I forgot her husband's name. Friends of Will, and they have this dinner together, and
with the brownie, right?
With the brownie, right? And the atmosphere they create there,
it's lovely.
The tangible friendship of that group of friends. Right. I've never seen it done better in any film series than there.
I think, of course, we can assume, but we can't know. But I think Julia Roberts also greatly enjoyed that scene because that's a scene you rarely see in American movies.
Exactly.
Kind of realism, sort of grounded. It's almost Ken Loachy, even though it's too rom-commy for Ken Loach. But that's sort of grounded, which is something the English do way better than most other filmmaking countries. That sort of coziness, that sort of charming Britishness, quaint. That's really they're masters in that. I mean, it's not just Ken Loach. It's also I can't think of other examples, but there's loads of them. Why can't I think of another? Well, of course, all the Richard Curtis movies, but there's more than that. Have you ever seen like Still Crazy, for example? Have you? Or About Time? About Time. Well, that's sort of sort of quintessentially English coziness in movies is something I like to spend time with those moments, those characters, those atmospheres.
You feel when you're watching the scene, you feel like
you're like part of the
You're sitting there at the table, and there's just a bunch of friends talking.
It's lovely.
Reminiscing about high school days,
right,
because they call Will, Hugh Grant's character Floppy.
Yeah.
And Bernie, like, I can't get a girlfriend anymore. And then like Bella saying we can have children, and
very sad.
And then it ends also so beautifully with Julia Roberts' character and Scott saying, because they're passing, for people who haven't seen it, they're passing around the last brownie to the saddest act here, the most pathetic person at the table. And they all have a go, and Julia Roberts also wants to have a go, and they're like, "What?" And Scott, you're very
you're
and
rich.
she's saying like, "Yeah, I've had a boyfriend who hit me, and I've had a nose job and a chin job."
It's funny that she just points.
I've had 2 rather painful operations to get me looking like this. And
it's funny that it's great stuff.
And then she says, like, very beautifully, like, not long from now, my looks will fade. They will discover I can't act, and I will just look like someone who looks like someone who used to be famous for a while. And you can see her realizing it at the moment. She's like, and everybody falls silent. And then at the exact moment, all of them are like, "Nah, nice try, gorgeous, but you're not fooling anyone."
And who gets the brownie? I forgot. Is it Hugh Grant?
Hugh Grant, yeah. He's like, "Pathetic effort to hug the brownie," and he takes the brownie. It's well done.
This was back when Hugh Grant was still. He had a lot of detractors because they said he could only play like one part, the part of the sort of stuttering, awkward fool in British comedies. But he's so good. He's and especially in more recent years, he played a few villains. And he sort of branched out, and he's such an amazing, versatile actor. I haven't
seen the movie, the like horror movie where he's with the 2 girls who ring on his door. I forgot the title. Yeah, I haven't seen it, but I saw the series. What's it? The Undoing?
Oh, so good,
and he's so good.
Spoiler alert. I never know. I never knew it was him. He fooled me. Up until the end, and then he sort of there's subtle movement in his eyes and sort of when the tables turn. Yeah, lovely.
He's a great actor.
Great actor.
He used to play the same character basically over and over, but he did it to perfection. There's
also a skill in playing the same character over and over again. You have to do it.
Of course, it's the most difficult thing I think you can do, to keep doing that and keep engaging or keep having audiences engaged in what you're doing. Yeah. It's insane. There's another like Friends scene in Notting Hill that I also want to mention because it's with the guy who wasn't in the first scene. It's Tony, the guy with the restaurant. And a year later, the restaurant closes. Right. And Bella has this little speech like, a year ago, Tony opened the best restaurant in London. Unfortunately, no one came to eat here. And then this Tony's like, yes, that's a tiny hiccup. And I love that. That's so endearing. It's so funny. It was like, yeah, nobody came to eat here. I'm sorry. And then they end up singing Blue Moon on the piano. The thing I love most about Notting Hill is even... the romance aside, it's the friendship. Yeah, the friendship of that group is so good, and of course the jokes are great. And the scene in the bookshop where she is like with the Marc Chagall painting, and she's like, "I'm just a girl standing in front of a boy."
Oh, that's so good.
Asking employment. It's perfect. But it's the friendship of that movie that really sells it for me. I love it. I love the way they did that. Yeah.
By the way, I wish I could show you the Notting Hill is one of the final LaserDiscs ever. It came out in the year 2000, and LaserDiscs, well, let's say by the year 2001, releases stopped. I wish I could show you, but I don't have it. It's in a very expensive one because, of course, it is one of the later releases, so not a lot of copies were made. This was back when DVD was already 3 years on the market, 99. So I'm always looking for, if anyone is selling Notting Hill on, it's a very expensive. It's like a $300 or $400 disc because copies are scarce. And it's a lovely movie. Yeah.
It's a lovely movie and it's a collectible.
Who want to have it on LaserDisc?
Yeah, I don't know.
You have nice pics, by the way. I've only been able to show. I don't have Hot Shots. I don't have. Of course, Eternal Sunshine never came out. But Notting Hill. I don't have Terminator 2, which is weird because I think Terminator 2 is that's like the highest selling LaserDisc of all time.
Yeah, because it came out also on everything. Everything. Terminator 2 was everywhere for years.
There's even like a Windows Media Player copy you could buy. That's the weird thing. The very first HD copy. So like this is a few years ahead of Blu-ray. Yeah. You could buy it on I think it was like a 720p copy. You could buy it on a CD-ROM for Windows Media Player. Terminator 2 is everywhere.
Yeah. Highest grossing movie of the time, I think.
Right. More than half.
Or maybe not the highest grossing, but like the third highest grossing because it was the most expensive movie.
Right, of course, yeah.
At the time.
At the time, I think E.T. and Star Wars made more money, but it made a lot of money.
Because it made like 600 million.
550 or something. Yeah, a lot of money, money. Okay, so that leaves us with number one, Mathieu. Your favorite movie of all time?
I'm thinking about it. We've had a little bit of comedy. We've had some romance. We've had some coming of age kind of stuff before Sunrise. We've had some humor with Notting Hill and Hot Shots.
I'm curious.
And this is a movie that I always say. If people ask me what's your favorite movie, I always answer this one, even though all the other ones we've gone through, they're also my favorite movies. But I always say. And it's probably because I watched it at the exactly right time when I was young and very impressionable. These movies are when I was younger and more impressionable. But it came out also in 98, 99, I think. Won Oscar for Best Film.
Is it Shakespeare in Love?
No. It's written by Alan Ball.
American
Beauty.
Directed
by Sam Mendes. It's American Beauty.
Right.
Which is... I don't know. I don't... Well, I know. I have some theories why it struck me the way it did back then, because it's about a middle-aged guy, rediscovering life. And I was...
Which was not...
14 when I saw it.
But you were middle-aged back then.
No. For me, it was the kids. It was, his daughter and her boyfriend. Those two weird... out of the ordinary characters that really pulled me in. And again, same with the Before trilogy. As I get older, I'm starting to understand Lester Burnham more, the Kevin Spacey character. But it's those two younger characters that really pulled me in the movie. Because, and this is like basically my philosophy in life in general. Well, I have two philosophies. One philosophy is we're all a bunch of screw-ups. Nobody knows what he's doing. We're all screwing up all the time. And the more you realize it from yourself, but also from all the other people that you see around you, like our prime minister, he's just trying stuff out. They're all just doing something, not knowing if it's working or not.
The lesson is never try.
No, no, actually, the lesson is always try. Obviously, I'm not gonna go against Homer Simpson here, but of course, the lesson is we're all just a bunch of screw-ups trying out different stuff. That's one thing. The other thing is there's beauty everywhere. That's in every movie, even in Hot Shots. In every movie, I've just mentioned, but also in life in general, everywhere you look, if you want to see it, you see the most beautiful stuff. The most beautiful stuff. And like the scene that really drives it home in American Beauty is, there's a bunch of scenes. He literally says it. Ricky, the character, I forgot the actor's name.
Wes Bentley?
Wes Bentley. Yeah, that's the one. Yeah. Wes Bentley. There's this, he's showing this movie that he made.
With the flying bag, right?
But even before that, he's showing some other stuff to his soon-to-be girlfriend and her friend, played by Mina Savari. His girlfriend's played by Tori Birch. And he's filming a dead bird. And there's a bird just lying dead on the grass. And Mina Savari's character is like, why would you film that? And he's like, because it's beautiful. And of course it is. I mean, it's beautiful in its own way. It's beautiful. And then, of course, you have the scene, basically, which is where he's filming this plastic bag. So every time since I've seen the film, and it's been 30 years, every time I see a plastic bag...
No, wait. It hasn't been...
It has been 26 years, yeah.
You saw pre-cut.
Sadly, no.
In 96.
Every time I see a plastic bag, I think of that scene. Of course. Because you see the plastic bag flying in the wind, and this guy is in tears watching what he filmed, and he's saying, sometimes I feel like it's too much. There's too much beauty, and I feel like I can't take it. And my heart fills up like a balloon that's about to burst, which is insane to say about just a plastic bag flying in the wind. But I mean, just that lesson is basically a lesson. It's something that I've kept with me very close to my heart the rest of my life, and I will keep it close to my heart until I die, I think. Because there is beauty everywhere, and you just have to want to see it and be able to see it. I can understand this is from a very privileged position that I'm saying this. I can understand if you're a kid in Darfur or even in Ukraine right now. I mean, it's a lot more difficult to say, oh, there's beauty everywhere. I have to say that. I have to mention that as well. From a very privileged position, I can say that there's beauty everywhere. There's beauty everywhere, everywhere. And one of those things that are very beautiful is American Beauty, which is a kind of a perfect film. I mean,
does Kevin Spacey make it harder for you to watch it? No. You can.
I knew you were going to ask this question.
Sorry for.
And I was thinking about it, but I've said this to lots of people. I can't change the way how I feel about it. It's just the way it is, and I can understand that if you play Michael Jackson, maybe it comes with a caveat or something that you have to mention it or not on radio. I know they struggle with it in Belgium as well. How are we gonna do this? You can't do that. I mean, sorry, but lots of artists are really terrible people. I mean, there's really a correlation, I think, between the genius of the artist and the madness of their soul.
But you can safely separate the art from the artists.
And I also feel obliged to mention Kevin Spacey hasn't been convicted of anything.
It's true.
I mean,
it's true.
There's stuff there. I mean, there's stuff there that
No, it's true. It's true. He had his day in court, and he was what's the word I'm looking for? Acquitted. So yeah.
But I mean, I've heard and read the stories. I mean, there's stuff there. He did stuff that isn't appropriate or is.
Robert Patrick told you things. Imagine.
But I can separate the art from.
That's good.
Artist.
It's good.
And Kevin Spacey for a long time really was my favorite actor.
He is
because of this one and because The Usual Suspects. I also love him.
You can't take away the fact that he's a very talented actor. I mean,
and even later, House of Cards, he's amazing. He's the only reason you can. Robin Wright. Also.
Even in Baby Driver, he's also very.
Baby Driver. So he's an amazing actor. An amazing actor. But all of them in American Beauty, all of the actors are amazing. And that Benning is so good. She's so good.
Chris Cooper.
And of course,
the very first time I didn't even know who Chris Cooper was. To me, that was
the most how do you say it? Tragic character of
Watch
the
out for spoilers.
movie. I don't even because it's not
true.
even necessary to spoil it. No. But plays a very tragic character. You can see it from the beginning that he's a very tragic character. Also delivers one of my favorite gifs or sound bites of all time. Is when Wes Bentley's character Ricky comes down the stairs. It's Chris Cooper's his dad, and he asks, the dad is reading the newspaper, and Ricky's like, what's new in the world, Dad? And Dad's reading his newspaper. He puts it down. He's like, this country is going straight to hell. And I starts reading the paper and I'm like, okay, good morning to you too, Dad.
It's like Swabaklio, actually.
Basically. Yeah,
Chris Cooper is like the Belgian.
There's some similarities there. They all play to perfection also. And I'm thinking of her name. It's one of my favorite actors. Alison Jenny. Is it Alison Jenny?
Oh, right. Yeah. She's a suffering housewife. She was also not famous at the time.
No.
Also retroactive recognition. Yeah,
she would become famous very
Juno
soon.
And I, Tonya. Yeah.
But I think right after American Beauty, I'm just thinking of the timeline, The West Wing started.
Oh, I've never seen The West Wing.
Well.
Starring Ramon Estevez.
If you do the same thing with TV shows, West Wing is definitely in my top 5.
Okay.
She plays CJ Craig, the communications director or something, or the spokesperson for the president in The West Wing.
Yeah,
which is really
Jenny,
the role that shot her to
great
to
actress.
fame.
Great actress.
Great. All of them are so good. Also,
I know it's silly because we can never know for sure, but I think she's also very charming in real life. I think if you ever if you have the chance to meet her in a press junket, I think she won't be that one asshole interview. That's just what I think.
I'm sure of it.
Prove me wrong, Miss Jenny. If anyone has any salty details about
no, I think I'm sure of it. Yeah, she's very charming. Also, the music.
Thomas
Beauty,
Newman,
Thomas
right?
Newman.
Yeah. The theme is very.
The theme, and there's this theme that also comes back on the score twice. Once it's called Angela Undress, and once it's called, I forgot it. But if you Google Angela Undress or Angela's Undressing, Angela Undress, I think. On YouTube or whatever, or Spotify, you can find it. It's another little piano theme than the more famous.
Yeah.
It breaks your heart. It's so well done. All of those characters, they're all misfits in their own way, and
screw ups. Yeah,
they're all screw ups, and it's just so beautifully done.
Yeah,
it's so beautifully.
It's a great movie. Yeah.
And
funnily enough, also one of the most expensive LaserDiscs. It's the same era.
Time as
1999. So also a $300 or $400 disc. So another one I don't yet have. I would love to have, because of course it's also a gorgeous cover. It's like the close up with the belly of Manasavari and the rose. And I think the tagline is like "Look closer" or something.
Yeah, look closer.
It's a great. I think, but correct me if I'm wrong. I think it only came out in Japan, so which makes it even more rare. There's no American. For example, Fight Club as well. Fight Club is also $19.99. Very expensive.
Also was also in my long list of favorite movies. Fight Club.
So you're it makes sense that you were 14 years old. It is one of those formative years. I mean, I've told this story a couple of times, and I hate name dropping, but the very first celebrity I interviewed was Rob de Hert, a Belgian director. And I was 16 years old at the time, and he told me, he said, enjoy movies now. He said, because between the ages of 16 and 24, those are the times, or those are the years when you're most receptive to movies. Those are the years when movies really hit you, when you can sort of get gut punched by emotionally, viscerally, when movies really get you. And I have to agree. I mean, most of my top 10, my top 15, whatever, those are the movies I saw when I was 14 or 15 years old, because that's the age when you're impressionable, when you're not yet jaded. I mean, I always tell this to friends, like, I wish I could get some punches in the cinema again, and that's been a long time. I think like the last time I really felt like gutted in the cinema was like, I think, The Social Network, and that's 16 years ago. I haven't. There's never been a movie since that really got to me in the same way as like The Truman Show or American Beauty, or those movies that really get to you on an emotional level. I miss that, and that's because
Robin is absolutely right. I mean, everything is movies, music, books. I mean,
I do think that music for me is still easier to sort of really fall in love with new music, although it's getting harder. But movies, it's really hard for me to find like a new favorite, something that would. I have friends who can hand out like 5 stars to a new movie, and I always think like, but how does it compare to my really all-time favorites? And they never measure up. It's getting harder and harder to really find a new favorite movie.
But listen, you're never gonna have a new favorite movie.
It can be. I think it can happen to some people.
I don't think so. I honestly don't think so. Your favorite movie is The Goonies, right?
No, that's number 2. Favorite is the Back to the Future.
Back to the Future. Okay.
Especially there's the cabinet.
Back to the Future. There's never gonna be a movie that is gonna hit you the way
True,
Back to the Future.
probably true. Yeah.
And you're gonna see movies like 2 movies I've seen recently in the last couple of months are One Battle After Another and Weapons.
Yeah,
both incredible. Incredible.
I'm gonna say something controversial. I didn't really like One Battle After Another.
Yeah, I've had a friend tell me the same thing. I loved it, but I had a friend tell me the same, and I understand it.
I don't want to say it to be like that guy, but to me, I know it's gonna win every Oscar, and I like Paul Thomas Anderson, so it's okay, long overdue.
What was it that you didn't like? Can you pinpoint it? Like why didn't?
No. I wrote on my letterbox, I said, like, I like the cast, I like the director, I like the writer, I like the cinematography. It's a good story. It's like an urgent story that needed to be told, and yet all the elements together didn't work for me. So I don't know what it is. And I had the same with like Everything Everywhere All at Once, which also great cast, great story, and still the end result left me cold. And I don't know why. It's actually frustrating when you can't put into words what. It's just Leonardo DiCaprio is hilarious when he's like shouting in Spanish. It's hilarious, and Benicio del Toro is amazing. I hope he wins the best supporting actor, although probably it's going to be Sean Penn.
Who was also amazing. Come on.
Yeah, but I thought Sean Penn was too much of a caricature in the movie.
I
don't want to.
Reality already caught up with him with probably. Dan Bovino in Minnesota. I mean, Dan Bovino in Minnesota was Sean Penn in One.
I don't want to diss Sean Penn because he's a 50 times better actor than I am. But I really felt bad. I felt bad bashing One Battle.
Well, you shouldn't feel bad about how you feel about it.
But yeah,
anyway, my point was.
Yeah, your point was.
Like I forget. Have you seen Weapons?
No, I haven't.
Well, I loved Weapons. I loved it actually more than One Battle After Another. Like it's
I read great things about it.
Fresh take on horror. Loved it. I'm gonna forget about those movies in a couple of months. I mean, every time I see something new, like I just want to reiterate what you were saying. Every time now I see something new, I'm like, damn, this is good. I forget about it basically in 5 or 6 weeks or a couple of months. And I'm never going to forget about American Beauty. I mean, I know American Beauty by heart. You can tell me a scene, I know by heart. Let me quote you my favorite film quote of all time, which is Lester in American Beauty. And it's his job description. You know, they had a manager at the advertising agency where he works. And the manager had everyone write out their job description, you know, tell the people what you're doing. And this guy is reading it out loud while Lester Burnham, you know, Kevin Spacey's character, is just gloating about how genius he was writing it. And it's, my job basically consists of hiding my contempt for the assholes in charge. And at least once a day, retire to the men's room, so I can jerk off while I fantasize about a life that doesn't so closely resemble hell. And as he's saying those last lines, there's the guy reading it out loud, and Lester Burnham is like listening to it, and he's like, and you can see his mouth like resemble hell, and he's just savoring how he wrote it, and that is so incredibly. But anyway, I can recite the entire movie by heart, and I'm never gonna be able to recite. Wolf of Wall Street by heart, which is also a movie that I absolutely love.
I do have to say that Wolf of Wall Street, that really stayed with me. So,
I mean,
recent movie wise, that's one of the greater.
Because it's an incredible movie. It's just, I mean, if you were 14 or 15 or 16 watching Wolf of Wall Street for the first time, that's going to be the best movie you've ever seen, probably. You're going to be talking about it. You're going to be talking about it in a podcast 30 years from now. And that's just the way it is for me. I'm 40 years old. I was very impressionable in the late 90s, early 2000s. So that's why probably all my movies, you know, Terminator and Hot Shots are a little earlier, but mostly all my movies are from that period. So Robert de Hecht is completely right.
It's true. Mathieu, I want to thank you from the bottom of my heart. Great top 5, well, top 6. And funny thing is that actually number 6 was a trilogy, so top it's 8. Actually top 8. Yeah, you cheated like hell. But great selection of movies. I'm happy that I saw most of them. Which was the one I didn't? I forgot.
The last before.
Right.
Before
so
midnight.
Other than Before Midnight, I've seen all your favorite picks, so that's nice. I could at least, because for example, Sven Rieder had a few choices that I'd never seen, like Young Frankenstein. I'd never seen. I should because it's allegedly...
His movies were all from the 80s.
Right, yeah.
There
of course,
go.
his formative
He's 10
years...
years older than me, I think, so there you go.
Exactly, he's from 74, so yeah. Mathieu, thank you very much. Continue making great television for the Belgian Walt Disney.
We'll try.
And I'd say until we meet again, keep watching excellent movies and keep talking about them, because we have to spread the gospel. We have to spread the word. Movies are fun.
They are. Thank you for having me.
Thanks.